And we have our Eastern Conference Finals set. It will be the Boston Celtics against the Indiana Pacers. In a hard 7-game series, the Indiana Pacers will be the team to continue the battle for the NBA championship. I predicted that New York would take this in 7, instead, it was Indiana, who got off to a big lead in Game 7 at the end of the first quarter and never really let the lead go. I have to say, I am a bit disappointed though. New York played with such heart. Jalen Brunson was awesome most of the playoffs. The team was without Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and in the end lost OG Anunoby, who tried to play in Game 7 but just couldn't do nothing. New York played their heart out, but in the end it didn't matter. And they even lost Jalen Brunson by the end, so just sad how it all turned out. But the Pacers are a good team. They deserve this. They came back from a 3-2 series deficit and won Game 7 on the road, so kudos to them. Boston, on the other hand, quite easily dealt with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I didn't think the series would be too hard for Boston, even without Porzingis in the lineup, but since Jared Allen couldn't go for the Cavaliers and for final games both Donovan Mitchell and Caris LeVert couldn't play as well, so it was quite easy and fast series win in 5 games for the Celtics, just as I predicted. Well, I said 6, but with all the injuries the Cavs had to go through, it ended in 5. Even with full health though, I didn't see how this can go too deep. Boston is just on another level. So now we have found out the 2 best teams in the East who will battle for a chance to go to the NBA Finals and win the NBA Championship. During the regular season, both teams met 5 times, and in the in-season series, it was won by Boston 3-2. For Indiana, they have plenty of offensive talent. Halliburton is playing somewhat like that all-star during the season. Turner has a good game here and there, but man, DJ McConnell has been a big contributor for them through their playoff series. And don't forget Pascal Siakam. For Boston, the recipe doesn't change. They do need Porzingis for the big final, but the team is stacked all around, starting with their 2 all-stars in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Horford was awesome against the Cavaliers, and Drew Holiday, you just can always depend on him to make a big play. In a way, I think Boston has had quite an easy path to the NBA Finals. First, they were facing an injured Miami Heat, then an injured Cavaliers team, and now they face the Indiana Pacers, who don't have such injury players, so possibly this could be a longer series. Well, the Pacers kinda have been through the same story. Injured Bucks team, very injured Knicks team, and now it's time for the big boss, the Boston Celtics. So, what will happen here? Unfortunately, you have to monitor some injuries. This time, just on Boston's side. When will Porzingis return? He missed the whole second round series and, as reported, will miss at least the first 2 games of this series as well. I don't necessarily think that Boston needs him in this series, but he has to return, get back to the rhythm, and it takes time. Porzingis gives Boston some advantages, so hopefully he is back sometime during this series. How do both offenses work? Both teams had the best offenses during regular season, but only one team had a top defense, and that was the Celtics. Indiana scores, but they do let other teams score as well. Boston, on the other hand, tries to guard the opposing team, so we'll see if they can stifle up the Pacers. Bench production could be crucial, more so for the Pacers, but both teams actually have some good shooters off the bench. It's quite easy for Boston. They have to shut down Tyrese Halliburton. Well, it sounds easy. When they stop him, Indiana pretty much stops. For the Pacers, they will have a harder task on their plate. Celtics don't have that one maestro on offense. Instead, they rely on multiple all-star level players. Okay, I'm over-exaggerating a little bit. Indiana has 7 players that average over 10 points per game during the playoffs, but Halliburton is the one who dictates it all. And he struggled against the Celtics during regular season. The series starts on Tuesday, and Boston will have the more well-rested team. I think this far into the playoffs, the team that has the most rest has an advantage. If Pacers expect to win, they have to shoot the lights out, and they have to make this a shootout. Otherwise, I don't see them getting a win here. Any way you look at this, this has to be a high-scoring series. Pacers just don't defend. Boston does. But Pacers offense can score against anyone. So I expect some high-scoring games, and whoever wins the scoring battle wins the series. Well, that's pretty obvious, but you get the point. Pacers have the scorers, but they will have to find defenders. We know Miles Turner can block some shots, Pascal Siakam can defend, but it will also have to be others, since Boston has like 4 very good offensive options plus others who can score and shoot. The pace of the game has to be fast. The Pacers are struggling when there's no pace. Funny how it sounds, doesn't it? They have to use Pascal Siakam more in half court too. And let's not forget that Haliburton will most likely be guarded by Drew Holiday. That will be bad and hard for Hallie. Boston's a heavy favorite in the series, and for all the right reasons. The Pacers are just outmatched in this series. With Porzingis' return, it will show even more. So I think that the Celtics win this one in 6. I always think the Celtics will win in 5 or 6 because they just can't sweep teams. They're so much better than most of the teams, yet they can't sweep. As for Boston, don't play around with these Pacers too much. You give them a finger and they can snatch the whole hand. I don't think they will though, and it will be Boston who moves on. But what do you think, guys? Who wins here? Boston or Indiana? Please let me know with your comment down below. Don't forget to leave a like for the video and share this, and subscribe for this channel for more in the future. Thank you very much for watching. This is Purple Prince, and I'm out.